Hello, Ravi. A very good morning and welcome to today's session on healthcare and life sciences consulting.
Good morning, Soumya. It's good to be here.
Let's start by understanding your role as a director of healthcare and life sciences consulting at the business research company. And also, we would like to know what kind of projects or initiatives do you lead as the director?
So, as the Director of Healthcare and Life Sciences at the Business Research Company, we conducted around 100 plus consulting projects across different industries from the biopharma to medical devices, niche biotechnology areas, and even animal health domain.
Mm-hmm.
So, we worked on diverse projects. Even in biopharma, we covered both small molecules and biologics. In the medical technology, we covered in vitro diagnostics to molecular diagnostics, medical imaging, and even wearables. In niche biotechnology areas, we covered cell and gene therapy areas, and in animal health, we covered both pharma as well as the medical diagnostics for companion and livestock animals. So we covered diverse projects, around 100 plus projects across different industry verticals, and within each industry vertical as well, we covered projects for various specialities and various functional domains.
Makes sense, makes sense. That's quite interesting and pretty diverse, I would say. I would also like to understand what's the scope of the business research companies, healthcare consulting, and is it just providing solutions consulting, or does it also revolve around business consulting, or what's the scope from the business research company's point of view?
Yes, Soumya, to give you a brief overview, our solutions are always tailored to the specific needs of diverse customer segments. So, our customers can help understand the historic market, target market, the current competition, and then we provide advisory or strategic planning for our clients for the near term and long term. And we largely support clients for commercialization of their product, devising a roadmap strategy for product launch, identifying markets and opportunities, benchmarking competitors, understanding customers, doing sales force analysis, M&A strategies, therapy area strategies, portfolio optimization, and many other solutions.
So that's very interesting to know that the business research companies' services and solutions are always tailored, and it's from more of a customer centric point of view, because when understanding their needs gives a solution, it gives a holistic strategy to go ahead with. I would also like to understand from your point what's the depth of the business research companies, healthcare and life sciences consulting, or what's the depth that the business research company covers in the healthcare industry?
Yes, Soumya. So, as I explained to you, we cover four industry verticals within healthcare and life science consulting at Business Research Company. One, biopharma, two, medical devices and medical technology, three, animal health, and four, healthcare services. And we provide solutions across the product life cycle for each industry. For example, within pharmaceutical vertical, our services span from the research and development of a drug to the clinical development to the commercialization or market launch, and even we support post-market studies. So, for example, during discovery and preclinical stage of a drug molecule, we help conduct licensing studies such as in-licensing and out-licensing studies. We help our clients to improve R&D productivity. We also do epidemiology studies or unmet need analysis. So these are some examples of the studies that we do at the initial discovery phase of a drug molecule. Then during clinical phases of a drug molecule, we do clinical trial analysis, pipeline analysis. We also help our clients to get a suitable CDMO or CMO, contract manufacturer or contract drug development partner. So these are examples of the studies we do during clinical phase and during market launch, which is most of the solutions are designed. So we help in commercialization of the product, devising product launch strategies, finding market opportunity for a particular geography or a particular therapeutic segment. We help our client understand the revenue models, business models for forecasting. We also do a pricing analysis of a product to be launched, and we also help on regulatory landscape studies for a particular product or drug across different countries. We also help in distributor partners. We help several clients to get a to understand the distribution landscape and get a suitable distribution partner for their drug in any of their target
Yeah.
country. And this is during the market phase, and even during post-market drug, after the drug is being launched, we help or we conduct studies such as understanding physician feedback on a specific drug, or understanding the customers, or understand drug prescribing trends, how the target drug is being prescribed in a specific geography. And we also do supply chain analysis or healthcare outcomes research, or if a drug is not performing well in the market, to understand the pain points or why the drug is being underprescribed. So we help conduct such studies as well. So in a nutshell, we cover studies from the drug discovery of a drug to the clinical development to market launch and even post-market studies. So across the life cycle of the drug product, we do the similar type of studies for medical devices as well, starting from the prototyping of medical devices to the drug to the development of medical device, market launch, and even post-market studies as well. So these are the various types of the studies across the life cycle of the product that we cover across various industry verticals.
Yeah. So, to my understanding, that's one of the widest coverages of a certain industry that I've come across, and it is also a holistic solution from discovery to the launch and also the post launch services and solutions that you provide. But here, I would also like to understand what makes the business research companies research stand apart. Like, we have a lot of competition in the market, but why would you say a company come to TBRC, the business research company, instead of going to a competition?
Yes, our company, business research company, the main mission is to provide quality over anything and always. And we follow gold standard research methodology, which I can explain as we do a detailed expert interviews for each project. Thousands of research interviews we conduct annually with senior experts, KOLs, and market experts. And we follow a strong research process that has a layered methodology with the clear steps of project kickoff, design, data collection, data analysis, sanity checking, and final presentation of the deliverable to the client. We also take pride in providing detailed sourcing and referencing to everything we deliver. So whatever data points we collect, either through secondary research or through the expert interviews, are clearly sourced, and our client will know which data point has been gathered from which source. And we also have UK-based academic editors and globally available consultants to contribute throughout the consulting process. So we for every consulting project, we connect to the key stakeholders involved in that market and industry to understand ground situation of that specific industry or the market, and that helps our client to be very to have very clear understanding on his target market.
That makes sense, and that's a mission to keep in track with. Now, I would like to understand a little bit more about the business research company's in-house resources. What are the resources that you have? What are your experts, and what are your global consultants that you are able to provide to your client?
Yes. So in terms of the information databases or repository, we have 5,000 plus markets covering 27 industries, and we have constant access to hundreds of journals and proprietary data sets. And we have also panels of hundreds of industry experts and participants, and we have ready panels where we could connect to for any niche or specific industry. Along with it, in terms of the resource personnel, we have 100 plus in-house consultants providing us extensive expertise, and also they always stay up to date with the latest industry trends happening and what's to come next. So we have delivered hundreds of projects to the blue chip clients, and our global consultants from across the globe have contributed to this expertise. So 2 points to highlight here: expert in-house consultants, as well as extensive research repository, information repository is all unique for the business research company.
That's extensive. So, given your customer centric approach with the quality that you always intend to provide, what, according to you, is the key factor, like the deciding factor you keep in mind while providing research solutions to your client from a TBRC perspective?
Yes. So for us, like I mentioned, every project is tailored. Nothing is standard in terms of providing the solutions. So that most important thing is to understand the client needs. What is the key objective of the study? Some clients want to understand the market. Others may want to understand the pain points for the low success of their marketed product. Or some clients wanted to devise a specific roadmap for a product launch. And a few others may want to understand customer reviews on their product,
Mhm.
So we'll work with every client to finalize the scope of the project to get best outcomes that are helpful for the client. So in summary, we create winning strategies for our clients, and each project outcome that we provide will include critical findings and then advisory on actionable insights for our client to devise their business strategies.
Wow. I think we have a winner here, Ravi, and that's more than enough to understand why a company should or would choose the business research company over the competition. I would like to understand what is healthcare and life sciences consulting from the business research company's point of view. How do you divide it? What do you cover?
Yes, Sonia. So as I explained, we cover four different industry verticals. In terms of the projects, we conducted around 100 plus projects. So I'll give you a few examples by type of the studies that we conducted. For example, the first type of the study is the discovery or unmet need analysis. To give you an example, we conducted a study to understand the unmet needs of rare eye disease therapies.
Okay.
So one of our clients wanted to understand the current available drugs for the rare eye diseases, their prescription trends, reimbursement trends, and any market opportunity that exists with such rare eye disease orphan drugs. So what we studied is we did a complete epidemiology study of the current rare eye disease drugs, what are the currently available drugs, their pricing analysis, their reimbursement trends, and then provide an advisory to the client on where there is current unmet need that our client can either prioritize in his in-house research, or he can do an M&A or uh, M&A acquisition, or even product development partnership with any other external stakeholder on this eye disease research. So that is one study on the discovery or unmet needs. Second is now there is a big issue that every big pharma is focusing on is to enhance their R&D productivity. Uh,
Yeah.
every company wants to increase their efficiency to increase the number of pipeline molecules that a company can provide. So we did a very good study for a client to understand what are the key success factors that lead to high research productivity. So we followed a unique research methodology where we analyzed over 5,000 unique pharma companies and filtered the pharma companies who have high pipeline molecule, let's say more than 5, more than 10. And then we also studied which companies have their pipelines have transitioned successfully from the early discovery to phase 1 to phase 3, and how many of those of such pipeline molecules have been successfully marketed. So we picked those few exemplary companies and try to understand how they are successful, try to understand parameters that led to their high success. So finally, we found out a few parameters such as the technology platform, their efficiency, their therapy area, and then we gave a good advisory to client that see these are the few parameters that lead to the high R&D productivity for any biopharma research company, which is very helpful actionable advisory to our clients. So these are examples of the studies that we conduct at the early stage, early discovery stage. Second type of studies that we do is uh, to devise a roadmap for any product which is not existent in the market. So that product is an innovative product developed by the company. So as the product do not have any competition to benchmark, we have to devise a roadmap for that unique innovative product. So
Hmm.
what we try to do, for example, there is a client who wanted to understand the adoption of a digital pathology, an artificial intelligence based digital pathology solution. He wanted to understand the adoption of such solution within biopharma companies. So digital pathology is nowadays being adopted in the clinical industry, clinical hospital industry, but adoption of that digital pathology in biopharma industry is not clear. So what we did, try to connect to all major biopharma companies and understand how they are they using any digital pathology, and if they are using, then which systems they are using, and what are the challenges that they are facing, and who could be their adoption of a new innovative AI-based digital solution during their clinical trials in the biopharma industry.
Okay.
So uh, these are all, and the other, so these are all some of the examples of an innovative product which is not existent in the market.
Okay.
Another good example could be a study that we did on cervical cancer diagnostics.
Okay.
One of our client has developed a unique, again, machine learning AI-based a diagnostic tool, which has a distinct advantages of less turnover time, high sensitivity. So he wanted to understand whether such device will be adopted by the pathologist or gynecologist. So what we did, we tried to understand what are the existing methods of diagnosis, what are their cost of the existing methods, and what is the reimbursement trends. And then we spoke to several hundreds of end customers. End customers here will be the gynecologists, pathologists who prescribe such tests. So we try to speak to them and try to understand whether such technology could be adopted, and if adopted, what is the maximum price range that that the patients will pay for such unique, innovative solution. So these are the examples of the studies that we did for a product which is not existent in the market, which our clients wanted to launch the product. So we made a clear roadmap for such businesses. Third type of studies is we help devise a roadmap with a product that already existed in the market, means competitive benchmarking. For example, we studied on RPM, RTM, remote patient monitoring and remote therapeutic monitoring devices. This is one of the buzzing field where many of the medical device companies are entering into. So one of our clients wanted to study how is the operations of the existing RPM, RTM players in the market. What are their platforms? What are the solutions they are providing? What are their business models, revenue models, profits, operating sales force, services? So we did a very detailed study of all existing remote patient providers, and then we try to find out even the current challenges and where our client to that current challenges and unmet needs where our client can devise their solution to get a greater penetration in the remote patient monitoring field. Second is we did a recent study on virtual medical care platforms, which is again increasing because of the COVID-19, as everyone wanted to have virtual healthcare consultations, even that will help in lessening the hospitalization. So similar study we did to understand the current platforms that provide virtual medical care, such as Teladoc, Ping a Doctor, and try to understand their business models, revenue models, revenue flow, and whether they are profitable, what are the technical features of the platform, how many clientele, how many number of patients that they are serving, and give a very detailed uh, insights on the virtual medical care operations. And that is helpful for our client to again devise their business strategies if they wanted to enter into virtual care platforms and if they want to build a virtual care platform.
Okay.
And third, similar example is one of the client wanted to establish a business on radiotherapy, linear accelerators, and he wanted a very detailed understanding on the sales and service operations and then advisory on sales force, service force, including the service points, etc. So again, we try to understand who are the major players that provide or supply linear accelerators, try to understand their sales force, service force, even what services they provide, whether they provide annual maintenance services or repair services, and what are their sales split by sales, what are the revenues split by sales and service, what are the profits again split by each business division, what is their employee number, and then we provide an advisory to the client that okay, if you wanted to launch in this geography, you must have these sales access points, these service access points, you should provide these type of services that will be very useful to our end customers. Such advisory we have provided to our clients. So these are the third type of project that we do a very detailed computer benchmarking and then provide a roadmap that will take into account the current unmet needs and then design solutions around that unmet needs that is very helpful for our clients to penetrate into the existing market. And fourth type, we did many other niche studies, such as we did a study on cell and gene therapy, automated bioreactors. We also did a study on in-licensing and out-licensing best practices. So I can spend a minute on here because this is also a very important area in biopharma, where one of our clients wanted to understand what are the key parameters that the big biopharma companies consider while evaluating an in-licensing candidate molecule.
Okay.
So we studied across the companies and try to evaluate or try to create an evaluation matrix that generally biopharma companies use to evaluate an in-licensing candidate molecule. And generally, we cover from the clinical efficiency data to the financial quantitative evaluation of the in-licensing candidate. So that is a very useful matrix that our client can use to establish his in-licensing process in his company. So that is one of the unique study. And then we also published several white papers, actually, white papers on issue areas such as we published a white paper on CAR T therapy. We published a white paper on vaccine utilization trends recently on DTAP vaccine, including pediatric tetravalent, trivalent, hexavalent, and pentavalent vaccine utilization trends. That is a very unique study. And then we also do several studies like the general healthcare hospitals and clinics. For example, a clinic wanted to expand their chain and wanted to find out a good catchment area where he can establish his uh, a business unit or branch. Then we try to understand or try to identify a good catchment area that where he has less competition and where there is a high demand for the clinical services. So that type of studies we did, and even we helped a pharma company for a relocation of his operations to a into a new location that that is very efficient for him to have a contract manufacturing so on a size. So these are the few types of the studies that we did. And one study that I need to highlight is a study for animal health, where we conducted research almost 2 plus 3 years. We did that study from the start of epidemiology to understand bovine mastitis disease, from the epidemiology to understanding what are the current diagnostic methods
Mm-hmm.
that are used by veterinarians and farmers for detecting bovine mastitis, to the market share of those methods. And our client has designed a unique method and trying to find out the adoption of that unique technology. Again, we did interview with hundreds of veterinarians and dairy farmers across different target countries. And once we made a roadmap for his new innovative device, we also studied the regulatory landscape, how that new device can be applied for the regulations. And then we also help the client to find a suitable contract manufacturer for that specific device, and even a distribution partner for that specific device across the countries. So
Wow.
in a summary, from the epidemiology of a disease to developing a new product, finding the regulations, and finding a contract manufacturer, and even finding a distributor for that product. So from the prototype to the final product launch, we help the client for an animal health diagnostic provider. So these are all the type of the projects. As I explained, 4 or 5 different types of the project, from the discovery, unmet need analysis, and
Mm.
then for the studies where there is no existing market, there is no existing product in the market, new innovative device, and the studies where we did competitive benchmarking and other niche studies such as white papers, cell and gene therapies, and CAR T therapy. So we covered all the different types of the studies. We conducted on 100, 125 plus consulting projects until now across these various study types.
Okay, okay. That's very interesting to know. And specifically the bovine mastitis project, that was one of the most interesting highlights of our session. So, Ravi, how about you give us an overview on the industry trends, the latest trends that are impacting the industry, and what's to come next, and how can a company work with the business research company to create breakthrough strategies for themselves?
Yes, Soumya. So I'll highlight major trends across industry verticals. So start with biopharma. The most pressing trend is biologics and biosimilars. So biologics include monoclonal antibodies, interleukins, interferons, vaccines, and peptide therapeutics. So there is a significant traction in pharma industries on biologic therapies. So nowadays, more than 25 to 30% of all the approved drugs by the US FDA and other regulatory authorities are from biologics,
Okay.
because these are more target mediated than small molecules. These biologics are gaining prominence for the diseases, unmet need diseases, including oncology space. Uh, Because due to COVID-19 as well, the increase in research on biologics and vaccine are gaining prominence. Second is because of the high cost, very high cost of biologics, because of the accessibility issues, the governments across the world are trying to promote biosimilars, which are cost-effective copy versions of biologics, but have similar effectiveness compared to the biologics. So because of the high cost, biosimilars are gaining the research advantage. Of course, there are market exclusivity issues where only once the IP patent of the biologic is completed, then only a biosimilar can be launched. So biologics and biosimilars definitely is one of the major trend. Second, cell and gene therapy, including nucleotide therapies.
Okay.
So around 20 gene therapy products are being approved or about to be launched. And then there are many thousands in the pipeline on cell and gene therapies. Nucleotide therapies here, I mean, are RNA, DNA based or oligonucleotide based aptamers. So this is one of the most prominent research that is carried out by biopharma. Third is personalized medicine. So, because of the advances in molecular diagnostics and because of the big data, molecular diagnostics and genomics, because of the advances of these uh, capabilities, so personalized medicine is coming to practical or is personalized medicine is one of the area that all biopharma companies are researching on. And because of these personalized medicine, there are many drugs that are being available for subtypes, cancer subtypes that are being prescribed for a subtype of population who have a specific mutant gene. And fourth, real world evidence is one of the key trends nowadays. Real world evidence is the evidence that is created by real world data. Okay, that includes the data from EH or electronic health records or disease registries, and the data that is generally not collected through clinical trials, and the same data is collected through post-market real-world evidence. And pharma companies are increasingly using real world to make informed decisions and respond to the external stakeholders and improve the drugs market position. So this is one of the key trend. And last is uh, payment methods. So reimbursement payment
Something
methods.
we can say, so the real world data is something we can say the trend that has been increasing its impact after the introduction of big data and technology in the market lately, especially specifically post COVID pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic.
Uh, yeah, partly yes, partly yes. Real world evidence, yes, because of the regulatory issues, pharmacovigilance issues, and because of the availability of databases, real world databases, and big data. Yes, definitely, pharma companies are increasingly focusing. Not only pharma companies, even payers, physicians, specifically payers, are demanding for the real world evidence of a specific drug in order to reimburse that specific drug. Okay. And in view of the real world evidence only, there is a one more concept of pay for performance. So basically, traditionally, pharma companies pay as a fee for service model. So drugs are being reimbursed as fee for service model. But now there's an increasing significance of these alternative payment methods called as value-based payment or outcome-based payment, where payment is being tied to outcomes of healthcare outcomes for a specific drug, and the drug will be reimbursed only based on the positive healthcare outcomes that are being proposed by the drug manufacturer. So
Interesting.
these are the key trends: biologics, biosimilars, real-world evidence, personalized genomics, outcome-based payment methods, and even gene therapies. CAR therapy is also one of the major trends, which is a part of gene therapy. So CAR therapy research. These are the major trends within biopharma. And
Okay.
if we move on to medical devices and medical technology, then we have key trends such as remote patient monitoring and remote therapeutic monitoring.
Okay.
Because as you mentioned, COVID-19, due to the COVID-19, this is one of the key trends that has gained prominence in medical technology. One is remote patient monitoring, and
Hmm.
also this helps reduce the disease burden as well as healthcare cost and even hospitalizations, length of hospitalization stays as well. And good research is being carried out across the therapy areas from cardiovascular to neuro and even morbidity diseases, diabetes. So tracking the patients remotely using digital solutions. Second is virtual platforms, which I explained in one of the case studies, where virtual platforms instead of patient directly visiting the doctor. So that is one of the key trend. And then in the medical devices, one is point of care diagnostic. If you see diagnostic, then point of care diagnostics and molecular diagnostics. Molecular diagnostics mainly for oncology and other specific infectious diseases. Then, if you see consumer side, smart pumps, smart insulin pumps, and wearables, and radiology also, linear accelerators. And one important trend in the manufacturing of medical technology is 3D printing, additive 3D printing, which helps in faster, rapid manufacturing. And in the research of medical technology, then organ on chips, that is one of the key trends because that is used as an alternative to animal research. So non-animal alternative technologies. So organ on chips is one of the latest trends. So these are the latest trends with the medical devices. Okay.
Okay. So when you talk about the trends for the future, we can definitely say that remote patient monitoring or virtual medical care, these are the two things that are going to take traction in the coming forecasted years, to say like the next 3 to 5 years.
Yes, definitely. In terms of the patient centric, because all the models are now patient centric from the big pharma to medical technology. When you say patient centricity, remote medical or RPM, RTM, remote patient monitoring and virtual medical care directly supporting the patient. So these will be of high prominence.
Okay, so when we talk from a manufacturer point of view, we can say that 3D printing or organ on chip or say like nanotechnology in medical devices would take a step ahead,
Yeah,
right?
3D printing and automation of their biological process, automation of their manufacturing processes, use of AI again in their manufacturing processes, 3D printing. These all will be the latest trends in medical device manufacturing side.
Okay.
Yes, organ on chips will be on the initial research side, definitely. Research side as an alternate to the animal model research and faster high throughput research, which will help in high throughput research.
Okay.
Okay, so these will be the main key trends within medical device, medical technology space.
Yeah.
Third, if we move on to healthcare services, then definitely telemedicine, virtual care, robotic surgeries, and
Hmm.
even consolidation. We are seeing a trend of consolidation of smaller clinics to hospitals because of the inefficiency in their operations and because of the low profitability trends for an individual clinic, standalone clinics. They are consolidating or merging to the larger hospitals in the business point of view. And apart from that, yes, robotic surgeries and all of the major trends within care services. And also in the animal health, definitely using of niche drugs such as monoclonal antibodies, leukins, interferon. These are generally used for humans and nowadays are increasingly used for companion animals as well.
Okay.
And increasing availability of the vaccines and drugs for the companion and livestock animals. And even increasing radiology diagnostics for the companion animals. So those were the key trends within the animal health space.
So within the four verticals or the industry that the business research company covers in its healthcare wing, would you say that medical devices and animal health are two of the two most trending industries where the research is being done the most?
No,
Or
no, I will not completely agree with this because research is done in biopharma as well. Big pharma companies are dumping in or investing
Mhm.
PE investors in the big pharma as well.
Okay.
And so across the research, big pharma, biopharma, as well as medical devices, there is an increasing research and investment that are being poured in across these two vertical industries.
Okay, so we can say that there's increasing awareness in the animal health industry
Yeah.
with increase in research, right? Okay, makes sense. So you mentioned artificial intelligence and big data. So what would you say is the trend in the healthcare and the life sciences industry with the introduction of artificial intelligence? Specifically in the pharma industry, we're seeing a lot of changes, lot of improvements, lot of research, which AI is aiding. So can we talk about it a bit?
Yes, so artificial intelligence and machine learning. So these capabilities are implemented across the industry verticals, from the big pharma to medical technologies and even healthcare services.
Hmm.
So in the big pharma, artificial intelligence is now being implemented from the early discovery stage to the even clinical trials stage. In the early discovery stage, if you see the current traditional discovery model for the big pharma, they use a funnel model with a large number of compounds that are being screened from the hit to lead process. Okay, that is an inefficient process, and the use of AI will help them to identify the most promising drug candidates, and they can screen large candidate molecules, but that will help reduce the burden of screening using the AI. Okay, and because of the increasing data, big data, availability of big data by the biopharmas, they can leverage the AI capabilities in their traditional drug discovery research. Second, the AI is also being used in the clinical trials and precision medicine. Okay, that is on biopharma. Coming to medical devices, definitely, we are seeing medical systems such as imaging systems, smart robot, wearables, simulation platforms where AI is increasingly used, particularly medical devices used in radiology, oncology, and cardiology. So there are quite a number of available devices where AI is increasingly being used by the big pharma as well as medical device companies. Of
Okay.
course, there is a bit of issue with regulations, regulatory approvals of these AI-based. Though FDA has approved many AI-based devices, still if there's no clear guidance on, though FDA has recently released a clinical decision tool based guidance, still there could be more clear guidances that FDA will might be issuing in near future. But yes, definitely there is an increasing use of AI across big pharma, medical technology, even healthcare services, the use of clinical decision support tools and apps. And yes, across the industry verticals, heightened use of these AI and ML based solutions.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I would definitely say that AI is going to revolutionize the healthcare industry. So, on that note, concluding for today, thank you so much, Ravi. It was a wonderful session. Speak to you again. Thank you.
Thanks much, Soumya. Thank you.